All right, Ledesma, I'm here to introduce you to long division today. Now, I want you to remember that division is the opposite of multiplication, and what we're doing now is instead of creating equal groups of something, we're splitting something into equal groups. That's what we're doing with division, right? So this is your introduction to long division, and we're now dividing up larger numbers, right? So we're going to start out with this problem right here, 96 divided by 3. Okay, so I'm going to start out here, and we have 96 divided by 3, and I put it in a place value chart, right? So I used each of these little dots or place value discs to represent a 10. So I have 9 tens, that's 90, and I have 6 ones, so that is 6. Okay, and I have to divide this into 3 equal parts, right? So there's one part, there's 2 parts, and there's 3 parts, right? So there's 3 in each part, right? So there's 3 in each part, so that gives me a 3 right there. Okay, now if I go ahead and divide this into 3 equal parts, okay, I'm going to divide that one, 2, and 3 equal parts, and it doesn't really matter which way you circle it, but now I have 2 right there. So you can see that my answer is going to be 32, right? I divided all my tens up into 3 equal groups, and I got 3, so that's 30, okay? And I divided my ones up into 3 equal groups, and I got 2 each, so 32 is my answer. Now, we also need to be able to do this with the standard algorithm. So what does that mean? Well, that means you go over here and you take a look at this. Now, here's the deal. You start with this part right here. This is your divisor. And over here, the 96 is your dividend. And we're going to divide each part of the dividend up, starting with the largest place value, which in this case happens to be the tens column. All right, so how many times does 3 fit into 9? Well, we know our math facts, so 3 times 3 equals 9. So we go, okay, I put a 3 up on top of the tens column, and I say, okay, 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm now going to subtract 9 and get rid of that part, and I end up with a 0 right there. But my next step is to bring down my ones, the next place value that's available. And I say, okay, how many times does 3 fit into 6? Okay, 3 fits into 6. Well, I know my math facts. 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 fits into 6 twice. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, and I'll subtract 6. Make sure I don't have anything left over. I've got a remainder of 0, and so I'm done with this particular math problem. Although I do want to show you one other thing with this particular problem, okay? So take a look here. We're going to name the different pieces of this problem. Okay, so right here, this 3, okay, this 3 is your divisor, right? This is your divisor. Okay, this 96 is your dividend. Okay, and these are the different parts of a math problem. Okay, this 96 is your dividend. And finally, the 32, the answer to a division problem, is your quotient. Okay, so you need to know the different parts of a division problem as well. Okay, division is very simple. What you need to do is you need to line up your place value. You need to write things neatly. It will help you a lot if you are using your long division. If when you're doing long division, you are being neat and lining things up carefully and bringing things straight down. All right, so here we go. We're going to try another problem now. And on the very next page here, we have 89, and this time we're dividing it by 4. And I wrote 2 different place value charts here because I want you to think about this in a couple of different ways. So one way to think about it is I could divide it into groups of 4. So there's a group of 4, and there's another group of 4. Okay, and that was 2 groups of 4. Okay, and I'm going to go to my ones column, divide it into groups of 4. Okay, well, I can do that, and I can do that. So I've got 2 groups of 4, but now I've got this guy. and he is left over. So this ends up being my remainder of 1. Remainder of 1. He's left over. So I had 2 groups of 4 in the tens column, 2 groups of 4 in the ones column, and 1 left over. That ended up being my remainder of 1. So this is 22 remainder 1. Over here, another way to think about it is to divide this into 4 equal groups. Okay, so here's 1 group, here's 2 groups, here's 3 groups, and here's 4 groups. And each one of those groups has 2 tens in it. And I can do the same thing here. I need 4 equal groups. Well, if I split 9 into 4 equal groups, right, each group has 2 in it, but I still have this guy left over, and that's 22, remainder 1. So that's what you do with the leftover piece. So that is a remainder. Now we're going to practice the long division again. So you go over here and you set it up this way. Notice you have to take your divisor, right, from right here, and you have to put it on the outside, okay? And then you take your dividend and you put it on the inside of your division problem. Okay, we're going to take one place value at a time, starting with the biggest place value, which is, again, the tens column right here. So starting out here, 4 goes into 8 2 different times. That's because 2 times 4 is 8. And I will now subtract 8, and I am done with my tens. I have none left over. So I'm going to bring down my 9. I will bring it straight down. Notice I'm trying to line everything up very neatly and very carefully. I'm dealing with my ones now. Well, 4 fits into 9 also twice, but this time you have 2 times 4, which is 8, and so I don't have none left over. I have 1 left over, and that 1 again becomes my remainder. Okay, that 1 becomes my remainder. So once again, the 4 is my divisor, 89 is my dividend, 22 is my quotient, and a remainder of 1. So that is how you do long division. That is the beginning. Long division takes lots and lots of practice, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you remember to practice. I hope you work hard and pay attention in class, and I hope you keep learning about it. Bye.